Hello and happy Sunday afternoon, everyone. This is Meg at Chasing Retro, and I am tired. We have done so much running around this weekend. It's all been fun, but when I was younger, shopping used to energize me. Now it just wears me out. We haven't just been shopping. We've been doing other events in the area at the school where I attended. We had some things to attend there. I went to a football game at my university that I used to attend. It was great fun. We try to go to one game a year. So we did that, and we were able to fit in some thrifting. My husband was off work on Friday, so we decided to trek up to above Greenville County, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away from us, early in the morning because I saw a yard sale that started at 8 and I wanted to be there when they started. And I'm so glad we did. It was one of those where you just kind of knew from the photographs that it was going to be a good yard sale, but only if you could get there in time. So we did that, and then we went to an estate sale. I only bought one item at the estate sale because almost everything in the house was sort of folk art, which I don't have anything against. It's just not my personal style. But goodness, it was awesome because it was like walking into the past. I'll try to remember to insert a picture here of the stairway leading up to the 2 attic rooms, which it reminded me of the house that I lived in when my sister was born, because when she was born, my room got turned into her nursery, and I moved upstairs to one of the 2 attic bedrooms. There was no bathroom upstairs. It was just 2 rooms, and it had the slanted ceiling/wall. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. But this lady at this estate sale had painted everything, painted or stenciled or wallpapered, literally everything that would not move. If it stood still, she put something on it. But it was so cute to just see her little touches throughout the house. And when I turned the corner to go up the stairs, I kind of, gasped and was like, oh, I have to get her a picture of these sweet little stencils. But anyway, and then we went to a churchyard sale. This is actually the second time that we've caught this one. It's a gigantic gymnasium churchyard sale, which are the best. And I found quite a few items there for very little money. I think I really came away spending maybe $50 for everything I'm going to show you, except what I spent at the craft reuse store. I did spend a little more than that, if I don't count that. The haul, it was very inexpensive. I just could not believe how cheap everything was, because I feel like even yard sale prices have been creeping up. But today, this weekend, we experienced quite the opposite. It was very refreshing to see things that actually said things like 5 cents and 10 cents and 25 cents. It was a lot of fun. But let me start with the yard sale stuff. I'm going to try to keep the things together that I bought together, but I may not do a good job. And I'll just tell y'all right now, this is a long video. And honestly, also don't get mad at me. I was telling my husband and my daughter, I was like, I don't want to show these things on my videos because people are going to get mad at how many awesome things I found. So be happy with me. And know that some of this stuff will be shared in Happy Mail and or going into fun packs in my shop for those of you who may be working on certain journal things at the moment. So, all right, the first thing I'm going to show you is, I'm going to try not to show myself in the reflection, a mirror from probably the 1930s or 40s. Now, I've wanted a dresser mirror like this forever. In fact, every now and then when I just have a whim, I'll go onto Etsy and I'll look for one, and I have yet to find one at a price that I want to pay. Well, I found this beautiful thing. I don't know that it's celluloid. I did the little trick where you can you can sort of rub it and see if it creates an odor. I think I remember hearing that about celluloid. But it's just so beautiful. It's like this crinkled looking jade plasticky finish. It was very dirty. I was able to clean a lot of the gunk off, but there's still a little bit of stuff on here that I may need to use Goo Gone or something, but I'm going to be very careful around the paint because it's starting to lift off. But is it not just so beautiful? I'm actually one of the people that still use a hand mirror when I get ready. You have to make sure that you don't have that weird bump in the back, you know, like that goes into the curve of your neck when you're sleeping, especially if you go to bed with damp hair. So I always do a check on the back before I leave the house to make sure I don't need to use my straightener on the back. I have naturally curly hair, but my husband prefers my hair straight. So I use a straightener most times, but in the summer, when it's humid, I go curly most days. But when I want to go straight, my hair still wants to go curly, so I have to always check for that bump in the back. All right, also at this yard sale, I cannot believe it. They were getting rid of family pictures and I guess travel mementos, maybe that great-grandparents had over the years. So if I find old photographs that are a good price, I'll rescue them. And these were, I think the photos were 2 for $1. And I just grabbed the ones that I just liked the way the photograph or the person looked. It's like it just kind of reached out and grabbed me. She reminds me of the girl that's in All Creatures Great and Small, the new version on BBC, which plays on PBS every January. Well, I think the series is over now, but I think they had 7 seasons. We watched all of them. I loved it, but I think she looks like her. That's why I grabbed this one. And then I have this one that folds out. That's a graduation picture. She has curls. I got 2 more photographs. Where'd they go? Okay, I think I've got them now. Yeah. I have this little lady here. She's very, looks almost like Titanic era. I don't know if this is a wedding dress or a graduation photo. She's holding a scroll rolled up. I'm not really sure. Chicago. And then this lady, she looks like she's heading out to church. She's probably got those pantyhose and sandal combo going. Oh, no. That's right. This is why I grabbed this one. This is House of the Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, which I've been to. My husband and I went here on our honeymoon, and I had done my senior project on, forgive me if I've told this already. I love literature and English, but I was a psychology major, so I did a independent study my senior year on combining those two schools of thought. So I was so blessed. I got to have one of my favorite English professors and my favorite psychology professor as my advisors throughout the entire semester as I worked on this project. And I used a lot of works by Nathaniel Hawthorne, including House of the Seven Gables, and I also used a lot of Poe. But basically it was a independent study and research project on the role of insanity in classic literature. And a lot of the literature was Gothic, but not all of it. I tried to branch out and do a few more things. I think I used Flannery O'Connor and things like that. But yeah, so fun. I forgot that's what this was. So she's touring. She's a tourist in this picture. And then I found this. Oh, they had postcards. I think I only got one postcard. Postcards were 3 for $1. Something like that. And this was they charged me 33 cents, but this, as you know, these are the ones that flip out. And the Blue Ridge Parkway is right above us. It was heavily damaged by Hurricane Helene, but I mean, it's passable now. It's 1 lane only through it, either way. 1 lane instead of 3 lanes, I think. But you can still visit it and drive down it. I have not been up there since the hurricane, but I wanted to grab that. And then they had just this box of maps and other miscellaneous ephemera, and I think these were 25 cents each. So I tried to grab an even number. I don't know if I did or not. This was just a random thing, and I just saw the handwritten note on the back and grabbed it because I was like, I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. But it's a engineering map of a city in Indiana. And it has been colored with colored pencils. And it is Elkhart, Indiana. If anybody lives there, let me know. It's really cool. I love using map pages for ephemera, like cards and tag backing. I really love this as the background. This is also fun, the street directory. So that was really fun. And then I found this map of Hennepin County, Minnesota in 3 colors. It's funny that they boasted that they have 3 different colors on the print. I'm not going to open the whole thing, but it's basically a beautiful turquoise, a navy blue, and a red. And I love that combo. And the map is just beautiful. It's like handwritten almost. So that will be fun to make ephemera with. And then this one was, so this came in this. It's Serviceman's Map of the United States, published by Fred Harvey. Oh, wow. If you don't know the history of Fred Harvey, I don't know. I think it was a restaurant conglomerate, and they were known for their restaurants that were sort of spanned across interstates. There's a scene in, what's the movie that, there's a scene in a movie, the movie is just escaping me. Basically, it's supposed to take place in the Fred Harvey restaurant. Well, it had already been torn down when the movie was made, so they used another restaurant and used some CG effects to make it look like it was that one. But I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this. But this is just the U.S. map, and then the emblems of each armed service. And then this is another map of, it makes me think this gentleman was stationed in Hawaii. Probably, I don't know what year this is. It does not say. Most everything on these things said 1946. So who knows? Maybe he was there during Pearl Harbor. I don't know. But I mean, it's just, I mean, how cool is this? And it shows like the Navy housing. There's the punch bowl, which is where all the graves and monuments are for a lot of the men who were lost there. Or a lot of the men who lost their lives in the Pacific Theater. So neat. I don't know. I can't believe someone was getting rid of this. I had to grab it. All right. And then, this is not at the yard sale. I found these at a thrift store, but I'll go ahead and show you because they're sitting here. I never find Junior Elf books at thrift stores. And if I do, they're always, you know, priced over what I want to pay. I think these were either 50 cents or $1. And I already have this one, but I love this little guy. Whenever I see this title, it just kind of makes my heart skip a beat. He's so precious. All the animals in this book are. So I thought it was in great shape. Look, they blindfolded the little. And then this one, I made a Christmas journal out of this. I think it was last year. And so I grabbed it. I may not make a journal out of the cover this year again, but I will definitely use the pages. Oh, they scribbled out, it's a Baptist church, Edwards Road Baptist Church Library. Yeah, that's in Greenville, I believe, or Simpsonville. And they forgot to, it was on a lot of pages. They wanted to make sure you knew where this book came from. And this was just, poor thing. This, nobody would have bought this book unless they make junk journals, because look, half the cover's gone. But it's Pitty Pat the Fuzzy Cat, the flocked cat, and inside, where it's not scribbled on, he is totally salvageable. I can erase this, and I can cut around him, and I can salvage little Pitty Pat from the trash. So I grabbed it. I think it's every other page is flocked. So cute. All right. I also got some, I will not show those because they're already in my daughter's curio and on my kitchen windowsill, but this yard sale had Occupied Japan ceramic little animals for $1 each. So I picked up 4 or 5 of those and shared them with my daughter. She and I both love those little vintage animals that are hand painted. So they were all Occupied Japan, which makes me think the gentleman was stationed in Japan for a while as well. I mean, just amazing. And then I found at the church yard sale, I found a pack of 2 hand towels that someone has adorned. These are, these are vintage, probably early 80s. And they put this cute little floral or cherries, I'm not sure, trim, and then cross-stitched this one. How can I not get these? So I loved putting these in our bathrooms in the Christmas season. And then I found some fabrics at this yard sale. I found this little red, it's not a deep red, it's sort of an orangey red, and then a green stripe. And then I found this. I love it when I find this gold, because this reminds me of my mom. She used to make a lot of things out of this kind of material with the gold woven into it. As y'all can see, I was really looking for Christmas items at this particular outing, because I've got those coming up next. This, I don't know what these are. They're 2 identical, I wouldn't say panels. On one end is this and small, and on the other end is the same thing in large. So, super cute teddy bears. I'll probably keep one and put the other in my shop. It's very 80s, maybe early 90s, but these little, they look like they're stamped on there. These little teddy bears, I couldn't leave them behind. And this is not Christmassy, and this is not vintage, but it looks like it. This is flannel. I've actually seen this before. I don't know where I've seen it. I don't know if I've saw it in a store, Joann's or something. Let's see if it says, is it Joann's? Of course it is. I bet it is. It is. It's Joann's. So yeah, I probably did see it in the store. Evidently somebody bought some and decided not to use it. So that was fun. I've never made a flannel journal cover, but I think that would be really fun to do. Okay, I think that's all the fabric from these sales. I believe so. Oh, I did get 2 pillowcases. These will be, unless they're heavily stained and I haven't really opened them to look, they are somewhat stained. Maybe I'll OxiClean them and see what happens. I did get these 2 pillowcases. They have ruffles sewn on. Oh, they smell like an attic. So I'll need to wash these in hot water and OxiClean to see what happens, but I just love them. Very pretty. I'll throw those over there to remind me to wash them. Also, let me show you what I found at the church yard sale. I found some children's books. Oh, on our way over to the checkout, my husband was a few people ahead of me, and I kind of paused and looked at this, and he looked back at me, and I just kind of shrugged like, I don't know what this is, but it's 10 cents, so I'm going to get it. I thought it was envelopes, but it's not. It's just pieces of cardstock in this beautiful school bus yellow, and it was taped together, and it said 10 cents. So I grabbed it. All right, so here's one of the children's books that I got. This must have been a teacher because she has the little card, handmade little envelope pocket. And it's called Spectacles. I've never heard of it before. I know I've heard of Ellen Raskin, but it's just quirky, and I love this kind of illustration. I love using these images like this in eclectic journals. So, which is one of my favorite kinds of journals to make, as y'all know. So it's like things that look like animals, but they're not. That's what I'm guessing this is supposed to be. Or maybe that's what the girl was seeing. And turns out she just needed glasses. We've all been there, haven't we not? Oh, there's a Christmas picture. All right, that's that. Oh, more yard sale stuff. I forgot about this. This was in the map and postcard box. I got a vintage Exxon. There's the Exxon Tiger. Eastern U.S. map. And I don't know how old this is. Why don't they put dates on maps and postcards? I don't understand that. And then I got these two things. Obviously, the guy was military and obviously ended up in Germany, as almost everyone does at some point. So, but this was interesting. It's about Berlin, but it's in Spanish. But I just love the way it's like a little flip book. This will probably just go into a journal tucked in as ephemera at some point. And this is sort of a, I guess, introduction to Germany. Look at that. And this does not have a date on it either, of course. All right. Also at the yard sale, and I'm probably y'all gonna put these in my shop. A lot of the stuff that you'll see I will be sharing in my shop. It's really funny. I finished the 80s journals and then I find a bunch of 80s and 90s stuff. And I've been looking for years and come up short in many areas, as you guys know. Well, at this yard sale, they had a set of 4 90210. Well, one's New Kids on the Block. 3 90210 and 1 New Kids on the Block. I'm guessing this would be something that you would buy at a book fair at a school. Maybe not. Maybe you would just buy this in a regular bookstore. But I do remember these little fan guides, and I don't think I ever had any. They're not color inside, but if you are a Luke Perry fan, and then here's all the characters on the show. Tells where they grew up, where they're from, how they got their start. Who was your favorite character? Mine was Tori Spelling. She was my favorite. And I was not really allowed to watch this show, but I watched it at friends' houses. That one. And then New Kids on the Block, John and Jordan. And so all these have a, from the Library of Book, sort of embossed. Somebody had a fancy book labeler, embossing stamper. So yeah, I'll probably put this one as a separate listing and maybe these 3 together. Let's see. Okay, I walked up on a bag of comics and I first saw Archie. I'm not a huge Archie fan. Nothing against him. I just never, it's just not my thing. This is kind of like between my parents and my generation, like the kids born in that era who read these types of comics and stuff. I mean, I read the funny papers, but never really got super into it. But then behind it were all these vintage Disney ones. Oh, and Underdog. But I just love vintage Disney anything. And I love putting pages like this in journals just as a fun little eclectic add-in. And these span over some years, I guess, because look, the price fluctuates by 5 cents as we go along. So I thought that was really fun. Just cute. And then you've got these awesome ads in here too, which is half the fun of these comics, I think. Oh, wow. The Silvers with a Y. Yeah, I don't know what year, 1978. Yeah, so that's the year I was born. So I was not reading comics, obviously, at that age. But super fun. I found this and was immediately like, yes, have to get this. I have some Ideals Christmas in my stash, but I did not have this one. So y'all know what these look like. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing. I found 2 Cabbage Patch books, so I'll be putting these in my shop. I'm pretty sure I had one in my shop for a while. I'm pretty sure it's sold. So I'll probably put these in my shop together as one listing. But yeah, these are just, they almost look like hand-drawn illustrations, just very simple and cute. If you're wanting to do an 80s journal, an oversized 80s journal, these will be perfect. There is a little bit of discoloration on the edge. I don't know why. Maybe they were kept somewhere that got heat applied or sun shining on it for a while. But other than that, the binding's in great shape and the pages are clean. So, all right, I found this at the yard sale. It was probably a teacher's gift. And I was like, I really don't need the basket. I just want the paper. But then when I got home, my daughter was like, Mom, look how adorable this would be sitting on a shelf. Like, you know, like a ledge shelf where you sort of put things, stack up photos and plants and stuff. And I was like, totally. So I'm excited about this too. But I got it obviously for these. These don't look super old, but I guarantee you it was a end of the year teacher gift. And the teacher used just a few of them and then no more. I found this bag of vintage-ish Easter buttons in egg, chick, and bunny shapes. Really cute. I found a bag of holly. I've had this flat kind that fans out before, and I love to use these on the covers of Christmas journals. But I also love this, the more vintagey looking stuff. And if I don't use these for journal toppers, because as you know, that adds bulk. I also love to just stick things like this in little tiny vases on my 3-tiered tray for decoration. So grab that. Y'all look, this was 10 cents. It's Birthday Bear. And it still has some stretch in the elastic. So I got that just for fun. At one of the thrift stores, I found some Christmas stamps. The only Christmas stamps I have right now are wooden stamps. And I only have about 5 different shapes. So this was exciting to me. This Santa looks very retro. And then we have this little, you know, caroling crew here. Nutcracker, little boy looking out the window for Santa. So cute. And then we have a jolly, more antique looking Santa here. I love the pen and ink type lines. And then we have little snow crystals and some stamps for like postcards and mail and things like that. Okay, at the thrift store, I went to 4 thrift stores and I don't know which one came from what, so I'm just going to say at the thrift store. I also found, this is not at the same place I found the books, y'all. I came up on this stack of 90210 trading cards. So I will be sharing these in my shop as well. I'll probably break them into, you know, maybe a third. Do 3 sets of whatever that is. And there's quizzes on the back and little tidbits of information. 1991 by Topps, the same people that do the baseball cards. So somebody bought a lot of packs because this is a lot. At the yard sale where I found the awesome military stuff in the mirror, I found something that I have never found before. In 5 or 6 years of looking for junk journal stuff, I've never found these before. I found vintage Viewmaster reels. Seriously, never found any. The only one I've ever had and used in a journal was sent to me in Happy Mail. So I was very excited. This is Wonders of the World. Also, Spike and Tyke, whoever that is, and Woody Woodpecker. So actually what this says is not what this is, but that's fine. I don't care. I have Viewmaster reels. I'm not really picky about what they are. Woody Woodpecker and the Lone Ranger. And Popeye. And then I have two, well, this one is Williamsburg, and it comes with this nifty little piece of ephemera about all the ones you can buy for vacationing. And here's the Williamsburg, let's see, 1, 2, 3, but then we also have tucked in here too, Mount Washington and Franklin D. Roosevelt's home in Hyde Park, New York. And then this is 1955, wow. I still have my kids' Viewmaster. I probably need to go in the attic and get it down and look at these before I put them in journals, but I don't have mine as a child. I wish I did, but I have theirs. And then Sword in the Stone. It comes with a little book. And this is 1963. I'm assuming it only came with one. Yeah. Is that right? Well, it says 21 pictures. So obviously some of them are missing. But still fun. Not one of my favorite Disney movies, actually. I was rather bored by it. Still am as an adult. All right, more books. This is from the churchyard sale. Again, with the 80s stuff. It's funny. I wanted one of these to use in my journals and never found one. So when I was growing up, I had this one and this one, but I didn't have the top and bottom one. And of course, I'm not going to cut up my own childhood books, but I just never found one to use to cut up and use in the journals. So now I have one, and when I saw this, my heart just kind of melted. I used to play library, and I used to do the same thing. I used to tape a little due date slip in the back, and evidently this child, it's fun to think that there are children all over the world who are probably doing the same thing that you or your children are doing at that very moment, just in their own way. And I just thought that was really cute. This is very exciting for the Christmas journals that I'm making. This will probably be one of the covers, although unfortunately it will cover up part of the rocket, because that's part of the fun of this, right? The rocket is showing here. So I guess ideally I could turn this into a ring bound. Maybe I'll do that instead so I can preserve most of the rocket. But the little illustrations in here, the little faces are so cute. Look at that. How sweet. Another 80s one, y'all. I'm serious. I'm not saying that I made the 80s journals at the wrong time. I made them at the right time because I needed to get the 80s stuff that I had out of my house, and I'm very glad they're done. But it's really funny that I just happened to come across this stuff. So this one has some water damage, but if you're not using the book as is, if you're cutting stuff out of it, this would be perfect. I'll probably put this in my shop if you're a big Popples fan. I know people make journals out of paperbacks too. This one has a little bit of damage on the back, but it would make a cute glue book or something, I think. This one I got because, well, it's an elf book, but it's a later one. I think I saw that it was in the late 70s. But the illustrations are just, they all have the big eyes. So I thought that was cute. I will use these pages in journals. My little sister had this book. I think my grandparents brought it one time when they drove down to Louisiana to see us. And Of course, I'm not cutting that one up, but I thought this would be a really cute Grandma and Grandpa journal. Or like a grandma's brag book kind of journal. So I grabbed it. So I had this one already in my stash, but I have used every square inch of it, including the cover. I have used this book up and down, left and right, mainly for the bedtime journals, as you guys might remember, but also just for childhood or spring or whatever. If you ever see this book, pick it up because it is beautiful. I love it. I love every page in it. At the yard sale with the Viewmasters and stuff, I saw this in the yard sale photo and I was like, okay, well, that's not going to be there by the time I get there. Even if I get there at 8, somebody's already going to be there with it in their hands. I just knew it. I was shocked when I walked up and it was still sitting there. So, these are not super old. These are probably 80s. Let's look. 1982, yeah. But they're in great condition. So we have Rudolph, a new version of Rudolph, more of an 80s version. And then we have this one, which is scratched up. It looks like a kid took a pen that wasn't working well and just went to town. But the images inside are still fully usable. And I've used one of these before, the ephemera from the images, and it was a very old version. Oh, this has some water damage too. Animals Christmas Eve. That cat. This one looks like it hasn't even been read. It's like hard to open. And then this one, I just love how 70s this one is, including the font. And I've never had this one in my stash. So I'm excited about this one. Oh, I didn't realize it had so much light green in it. Interesting. I have made a journal out of this before. This needs cleaning. But I do love this book. I love how there's snow on every picture. And then this one, this classic, and I think I made one out of this book last year too. But again, you can't get tired of these. All right, so that was that. And then I have the original box. How amazing is that to still have the box? I probably won't keep it, but. At the thrift store, as I was on my way to the register, well, let me show you what I had in my arms when I went to the register. I had these 4 things. And I also had a couple more books that I got from my daughter's boyfriend. Just something I saw that he would like, paperbacks. And then, what else did I have? Oh, a roll of wrapping paper. The lady at the register put in the roll of wrapping paper as $1, and then she saw these, and she just hit total, and she said $1.04, and I was like, are you sure? And she said, yeah. So I think I got these for free. I think she was just like, wow, those are in bad shape. The covers are coming off. Why does she want these? I'll just give them to her. Well, that's what we like. We like saving books that are falling apart. This one was worth $1 by itself. I've wanted this one. This is really funny. Somebody had a Post-it note. I've wanted this one for a while because of the like block print flowers, and there's some quails in here too. I just love it, but I've never found it for a price I wanted to pay, so I can use the whole sheet as a ephemera piece to tuck in the journal because her poems are beautiful, but I can also just fussy cut the flowers. And this had no back, so I have extra Golden Book backs in my stash. This one also has moth-eaten page edges near the back, so I can't reuse the pages, but I can definitely cut these out. And this is a really old one. The front cover is in great shape for the age. It just has no back. And this one has been torn apart and then taped back together, but whoever taped it did upside down. So I can fix it. We can still fix it, and I've never heard of this story before. It's rather interesting, but the cover is cute. Really cute. And then I can't pass anything up that's by Olosky. It was one of my sister's favorites growing up, and I made her a journal out of it actually one time. But I had forgotten that Olosky had a Christmas book, so I'm so excited to find this one. The wrapping papers that I found, the one that she charged me $1 for, is very vintage. It's that sort of really thin, like if you look at it too hard, it'll tear paper, but that's fine. I love it. I love how vibrant it is, and it's still got a little bit of the sheen and the gold. And then this one was the one from the estate sale that was the whole house was pretty much folk art, but she had vintage Snoopy Christmas wrap, so I picked it up, of course. All right, next. This is from these 3 bags that I'm going to show last are from yesterday. My husband and I went alone on Friday, but on Saturday, we took our daughter and her friend from school who was staying the weekend with us, and we took her to go thrift because she's relatively new to thrifting and she's trying to figure out like what it's all about. And I think after yesterday, she's sold because she found some really awesome platform Mary Janes. So we were excited for her. She was very excited about that. I think it just takes one really good purchase to really get that thrifting bug in your system, and you're you know, that's it. That's all you need. So I went to one of my favorite thrift stores that has like a warehouse in the back, and everything in the warehouse is half off the sticker price. So I found this. This is not super old, but it is old enough that the date still has a 19 already printed for the year. And I don't have anything like this. So I got this for 25 cents. And then I found this, Currier and Ives lithographs. I don't really do Currier and Ives or Victorian era anything, but I thought these were just pretty, and this would have been perfect for Anne of Green Gables. But I just wanted to rescue them. These can be framed. They can be used as ephemera. I mean, they've got a beautiful blank side on the back for writing. You could just tuck this into a journal. I don't know if I have any more journals coming up with this type of theme other than house and home. I mean, I guess this could go in the house and home. Evidently, there's some duplicates in here. I guess somebody bought 2 sets of 4 and put it in one envelope. And this was really fun. I didn't realize that Current Cards used to make prints for framing. But that makes sense, though, that they would. Yeah, Current ink. Looks like late 70s, early 80s. And these are really pretty. They're printed on like watercolor type paper. And these are worthy of framing for sure. Really pretty. Look, these just look so fall. I love it. Dick Goldquist looks like the artist name. So yeah, these were, what did I say? Was it 50 cents? $1, so they were 50 cents. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet, but they are flat enough that I can just tuck them somewhere until I figure it out. I went to one thrift store and I cannot believe my eyes. Normally this thrift store, the children's books just aren't that great. They're mainly, the Troll Associates paperbacks from the 90s and 2000s. But evidently there had just been a donation brought in of someone who was about my age, probably my exact age. And everything in those 2 baskets was from the 80s or early 90s. So I was very careful to only get things that I knew that I really use, not just because they were 80s. You know, I wanted to also save some for someone else because somebody else will come along after me who will get just as excited about those as I did. So first thing I got was this record sleeve. Unfortunately, she said the record was very warped, so they threw it away, but I rescued the sleeve. I had several of these Strawberry Shortcake records growing up, but I did not have this one. I love the green. It was an exercise album. Even the purple pie man is exercising. And then on the back, more cute pictures. And then y'all, look at this. Inside is just a giant strawberry with strawberry on top. How sweet. So I think she charged me 25 cents for this because I said I will buy just the sleeve. And she said everybody that I was working with was going to throw this stuff away. And I'm like, no, somebody's going to want this. This is 80s stuff. And I told her, thank you for not throwing these things away. Because yes, somebody did want them. This is another thing that she said they wanted to throw away because the stickers were not in here. And I'm like, I don't care. It's Barbie. It's my generation's Barbie. I want this, and I don't care if it doesn't have stickers. So this will be going just in my keep stash, like on my favorite things shelf. I'm pretty sure I had this as a kid. I am almost positive that I had this same album. Didn't keep it, obviously, but oh, I forgot about Panini. Oh my word, that just brings back memories. But yeah, 1983. Some of the stickers are in place. Here's where they were ripped out. But look at that hot pink. And there's Western Barbie. This is where all the stickers would be telling the story, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. There were little fashion models. But just this by itself is just amazing. I may have to scan some of those things, like the Barbie faces, to use in personal journaling. I can't, these are copyright, so I cannot share them with anyone, but I can scan and copy for my own use. Well, here's one sticker. Look at that. I love the way they drew her hair back then. And then the center has like a store. I remember this very well. You could hang clothes on the hangers. And evidently, yeah, the stickers in this section were very clear. So you could kind of just stick them on. So fun. Here's that beautiful hair again. I love the way they drew that. Here's Ken. Slumber Party with Skipper. This was a big book. I didn't realize it had this many pages in it. Evidently, Barbie traveled all around the world in this book. And we have a few more stickers. I'm willing to bet the rest of these stickers were put on this little girl's dresser or floor-length mirror or something, since they're not here. Oh, cool. You can write for more stickers. I wonder if I would write them right now, what would happen? 20 stickers for $1. So cool. All right, I found this Golden Shape book, Raggedy Ann and Andy. It's got some spots, but that's okay. I love this. So cute. Y'all, this is my favorite Muppet movie of all of them. I don't know why. Probably because of the fashion, like the fashion show and stuff. And the fact that it's set in London. But oh my goodness, I saw this and I literally had been talking to my husband about this movie the day before, and he was surprised this was my favorite one. Oh, I love this so much. This is great. when Miss Piggy was climbing on the outside of that house. Sorry if y'all can hear my stomach growling. I don't know why. I'm hungry. Okay, this is just a personal book to read, so I will not show that. And then I found 2 little golden books in this box, y'all. Great shape. Great shape. I've made a journal out of this before, too. And then I think this has my favorite Bible story in it. My favorite story is Samuel and Eli. That has always been my favorite Bible story. Hannah, the story of Hannah praying for a child, and then Samuel and Eli. And then this is cute for Easter or just whatever. Okay. Get out my receipt for my tax purposes. All right, at this thrift store, I had never seen this Sesame Street Telltale. And I'll probably hold on to this one because I think it's kind of rare. I really have never seen it, not even on eBay or anything. And it's quite distressing. This purple gorilla is trying to eat. He's just an angry gorilla. I don't know why, but it's interesting. I mean, it's no wonder it's not popular because it's just weird. But I like weird, so I'm going to keep it. I found this. I don't think it's super old because it has a barcode, maybe 90s. But I like to do sewing Notion tins and put them in my shop. I've done it a couple times before, and I'll probably do one with Christmas items for Christmas slow stitching or journal ephemera type things and put it in my shop. So I grabbed this. I found a Telltale book of Little Book of Pets. This looks like rubber cement, so I have to work to get that off. But I just love the yellow with the reds and pinks on the cover. And then this. My jaw hit the floor when I saw this. Seriously, y'all, $4. I do not need zippers. I will redonate these to my craft reuse store because I don't actually sew clothes. But rickrack, a little bit of rickrack, a little bit of the lace seam binding, but a lot of the rayon seam binding, which I have hardly any left of. I've been using it and crinkling it, and the whole bag for $4. Now, the reason I grabbed it so quickly, even though the colors are mainly greens, golds, and browns, I never see this stuff for this cheap. Even at the craft reuse store, seam binding is 50 cents a pack, and I think that's high. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, ma'am. All right, so that was all the thrift stores and yard sales. I told y'all it was a lot, but very little money. So I'm happy. I'm a happy girl. The last thing I want to show you is what I found at my craft reuse store this week, and then we'll be done. I need more fabric. Like I need, I don't know, whatever, insert whatever. I don't need more fabric, but I love gingham and I like to have it in every color because I love to use it in a variety of ways. I did not have any this color. It's like a sagey, springy green, and this can be used in spring journals, but you know what? I'm going to use this in the Christmas journals as well because this is just so cozy and homey. Like imagine this paired with a tiny red quilted dots, like a dotted Swiss. How cute is that? I found a few scraps. Again, I was looking for Christmas mainly, so I found this piece. It looks kind of wallpapery to me, but I love it. And then I found this one. This is not vintage, but it looks vintage, and it's got gold trim around the bows with a hunter green background. This are, little retro Santas on black. I'm not crazy about the black, but it does make him stand out. So I can use this as is, or I can even cut around him. Really cute. A pretty good piece for doing stuff with. This beautiful piece of red with gold glitter in it. Can y'all see it? I hope so. It's very dim here today. We've got clouds. If you can't see it, trust me, it's got gold glitter in it. And this is not Christmas, I don't think, but I'm going to use it in the Christmas journals because I love it. It's Christmas colors without being a Christmas theme, and I love that. So I don't know what this was, but it's got two long pieces coming out either edge. And then this, which is not Christmas, but oh my goodness, how cute is this? It's like a poplin sort of fabric. It would be so cute as pants. I would totally wear that. I got this fat quarter with more glitter and some poinsettias. Again, not vintage, but very vintage inspired. I got this one. So there were two color waves. I don't know what this is, but the fabric is just, it is just, I don't know how to describe it. It feels good on your hands. It is a very interesting weave. It almost looks like paper. You know how paper can have those bumps, like a waterpress look. So this is like the same thing, but in fabric, and the print is so crisp. The colors are just beautiful. There were two color waves. Of course, I got the orangey pink and green and yellow one, but there was also a pink, lavender, and lime green one, but I left that there for someone else to find and enjoy. I guarantee you it will be gone when I go next week. But this was my splurge item of the day, was that piece. And then, oh my goodness, y'all. Pink sheer Swiss dot. So whenever I see Swiss dot, I save it. Have to. Got that. And then I grabbed some more. I really like to use this kind of cord for junk journal dangles with buttons and stuff. I've gotten to where I like this more than the wax thread for that use. I really don't like putting buttons and things on wax thread because it just gets everywhere. So I grabbed these colors. I really am looking for more neutrals, so I'll check every time that I go and see if they have any neutrals. But bright colors are okay too. Okay, so somebody had, let me open this. Somebody, when I walked up that day to volunteer, somebody had left a big stack of charm squares. And it was just on the work table. And I was like, oh, do we need to put these in packs and price them? And our volunteer coordinator said yes. So we did. We broke them up into stacks, and then I ended up keeping one because so many of them were vintage sheets in my favorite colors. The oranges and greens, and I love this one too, the blue. Look at this. I've never had that pattern before. Beautiful. A little bit of paisley, and then the fruit is what got me. I don't think this is a sheet. Most of them were, but there were a few that weren't, but they kind of all went together. This is awesome. Very excited about this. So let me know if y'all would have picked that up too if you had seen it. I never see vintage sheets come through really, ever. One day I would love to have a quilt made out of vintage sheet squares. Okay, this is a grab bag, and I'm just going to open it real quick and see what we have. This was a $4 grab bag, so I was kind of like, I really could not decide if it was worth it or not, but it has a lot of Project Life cards, so I think it will be worth it. All right, so we have Project Life cards in colors that I don't have yet. Cute. They're kind of summery. So I'll have to put them aside till next year, but they're still cute. Poolside. This is fallish. And then we have some labels. Those are fun. Label stickers, I guess. Yep. So I'll put those in a separate pile. I think this was the backing of something. I don't think what was on here is on here anymore. So I'll throw those away. More summary Project Lives. Popsicles, how cute. That's fun. I just never come across Project Life cards at like yard sales and stuff. I know a lot of people do, but I do see them at the craft reuse store pretty often. So I think that's all of those. This is just like a watercolor swatch card. It's kind of fun. I don't know why that's in there. This looks like, well, I don't know what this is other than just paper scraps. I mean, they're cute. You can definitely use them. Those just look like little word bubbles or just labels, I guess. I'll put them in my label stack. These are cute little labels. Label-shaped items. I'll probably put this in the die cut box, though. A little tag. Looks like a price tag. More labels. Cute. These are adorable. Cute card. Again, I think this is the backing to something that's no longer here. These labels are pretty. These would be pretty in the Christmas journals. Yeah, I'll put that in the Christmas pile. Interesting. Oh, little file folders. I could use these as templates too. Those are awesome. Okay, these have glitter on them, but they feel like backing of something. I don't think, yeah, the glitter's coming off on me. I don't think there's anything on them anymore. This is really fun. Someone had embossed PVC type stuff. I'll never think to do that. Cute labels. Die cut. Star form sticker. I don't know, that doesn't look like anything. These look like maybe somebody had punched these out. I'll keep these. I don't think I'll ever use this. Another little label. These are really cool. This is awesome. Somebody's embossed some stars and done some alcohol ink. Well, there we go. We got a tag ready to go. Some gold cardstock, some more watercolor. Where's the other watercolor sheet? I'll just put these in my scrap basket. Again, I don't know what this is. If I'm throwing something away that's good, I don't know. It feels like sticker backs. This is a little piece of foam. Why is that in there? More labels. These look like jars and canned labels, but they're cute. These are just stickers. Cute. Put that in the sticker box. There's one label on there left. I'll cut that apart. More labels and labels. Okay, so y'all let me know, is that worth $4? guess it depends on what part of the country you live in. I know some people tell me that things are much cheaper here than where they live. I don't know. So I have a stack of labels now to put in my labels box. All right, you guys, that's it. Thank you for sticking with me. This is going to be long, long, long. So I appreciate all of y'all for watching. Tomorrow I have a Happy Mail to share with y'all from Cindy. She sent me a Happy Mail to cheer up my week last week, and I will be opening that on camera. So I hope you guys enjoy your afternoon and evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.